Hey guys, welcome back to Willie Farms. As always, we are glad to have you here. And if you're returning, we appreciate that. If you're new, check us out, like, share, and subscribe, and follow us as we go through our homesteading journey. Today, I want to do an unboxing. I don't do these very often. In fact, I think this is actually the first one I've done. I'm not sure. It's on a Vevor. Got it upside down here. It's on a Vevor electric netting. And I bought two of these, and I got them for our poultry so we can have pasture raised eggs. So we're going to do an unboxing. We're going to see what's here. We're going to install it, and we're going to see how the chickens react to it when they're put on the pasture. Well, let's get to it. We'll get the old trusty knife out here, and we'll just get into the tape here. Now, the one I purchased was not an actual rated for poultry netting. It was, it's got a little bit larger holes than a poultry netting. It's got 5x5 holes, but I think it will be all right. We're going to find out. This is not correct. Stick around, see if we can fix it. Got a little cardboard protection on there. We have got a bags here that's got some electrical connections in it. We've got some tie down straps here, several of them, one for each corner, various colors as you see, and we've got the ground spikes to tie those down with, and we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, about 10 of those. We're going to put this back in the bag so we don't lose it. There's that. And then there is the netting itself. It's a double spiked end on here. It's a fairly heavy cord on here with an electric conductor that's wound into that material. Of course, the bottom is not electrified because it will be touching the ground. This is supposed to be 164 feet. We've got some steel spikes and some more cabling. This is going to be for the corners, I'm sure. I guess I need to read the instructions on it, huh? And some galvanized nails that's bent for a hook. And I got 2 sets of those. Now, I did not get the kit that has the charger because I already have a charger. I'm just going to hook a charger up to this. They send you a little sign so people know that this is electric fence. You do not want to touch that. And I've got an electric fence netting manual. All right. So now all we got to do, untie that, get out here where we're going to put the chickens and install it. So let's do that. All right, so this is usually an exception to the rule. I'm going to go by the directions. So, number 1, prepare site. Netting of the Pro Fence line. Prepare line of either spray or mow all vegetation over 4 inches tall. Step 2 is untie strings and pull apart the 2 metal clips to release the roll of netting. Okay, we're going to do that. Clips. I don't see any metal clips, but I see string. All right, I've got that string loose. I've got that string loose. I'm going to move those into the box so we don't lose them. Now, it's got a zip tie around it, but it's a reusable one. It's got a little clip right here. I don't know if you can see that or not. You push that down and release the zip tie. Also goes back in there so we can use it. Now it looks like the fence unrolls. Okay, looks like it's free. All right, on to the next step. unroll the netting. Well, let's get it in place where we're going to put it and unroll the netting. It looks like that's the first post. So we're going to go down and start our fence. Alright, so next it says unroll the netting. We've done that. Grip all the posts in a group and lift them up in front of you. This will allow the netting to unroll in front of you as a series of folded pleats. Alright, I think we have found our first one. Steel connectors right here at the top. So this is the first one. So we want to unroll the netting. So we're going to take these in our hand, insert the beginning post into the soil beside a strong support post or existing fence. The plastic posts are great for inline posts but will bend under tension. Use the 2 tie strings to secure the post to a secure fence. Keep the net and post at least 2 feet away from what is conductive metal or concrete. That's going to be hard to do because I've got a chain link fence. Alright, here's our first post. We're going to insert it into the ground, and we'll have to run something in between these because it wants it 2 foot away from any metal. Well, that ain't going to happen. Alright, post 1 is set. It tells me to grip all remaining posts in my hand and walk backwards and releasing each post when it comes to it. So this is the next post. We'll just kind of let it fall. We're going to pull this back until the next post is ready. This post, I don't know what that is, but there's the next post. And there's an extra post in there. I'm not sure what that's for yet, but we'll get to it, I'm sure. Pull this back till we get tight again. We find out which post is next, and it is that one. We drop it. Okay, next, according to the directions, as you go to each post, put just enough tension on this post just to keep that from sagging, and then push it into the ground. Now in this orange bag is the tightening systems for the corners. They consist of a spike, it's galvanized, and a tensioning rope system. There should be 2 in here, I believe. Shake one loose here. All right, we're going to put our stake here. Push that into this ground. Doesn't give you a lot of instructions on how to use this part. So we're going to figure it out. I'm going to loop that around. Like that. Now, this little slide, we should be able to adjust that, pull it down and tighten that up and put tension on that corner. And that did it. That's got, at the angle we've got it, it's put tension on this side and this side. That helps right there quite a bit. All right. Put this one up till we get to the next corner, which is just right over here. So pull another stake out. We got 4 tensioning cables. That's great. We'll put our little stake out. This is enclosed, so it's not going to get in the way as much. And then we can pull it down. Pull that down until it gets tension on it and it holds in place. Get to that first post. Now that first pole is going to have a lot of extra line on here in the connectors. That's your first post. So this one we're going to set right next to the one where we ended it. Now I had to pull all the posts out to get it untangled. The ones from probably about 5 posts out is what I had to pull out. Because the main reason is the caps were off when I pulled it out of the box. Let me show you. Now this post has a cap that slips over the end. And it has a hook right here at the bottom, right there, where the bottom hooks in. The top hooks into this. The cap is affixed to the top yellow line, and there's about 5 of these off of that. So when I started stringing it out, some of those got tangled in the line, and I'm not sure if I could have put caps back on because I might have put them on the wrong post. I don't know how I should have handled that, but I ended up pulling these posts out. I pull the cap off, that remains in place so I know where the cap goes. And I pull the bottom end out of this loop. Just remove the post and untangle the line. Now I've got the line just about straightened out. I got to go back and put these posts in. So there's the cap. So we know where the post goes, so we'll just hook that cap onto the post right where it is. All right, so we're going to take the fence cap, which is affixed to the top line. Put it on there. Just follow that line right down. That way we'll know which section the bottom line goes on. We just hook it in there. All right. And you got to watch that too. You get yourself tangled up there. It'd be like a fish. Goodness gracious, Craig, come on. I've got 4 more posts I got to do that way. All right, let's just find out where they go. All right, I finally got it run. Got a bigger area than I thought I would have by just stepping it off. That's good. Here at the end, I just kind of overlapped. Here's the end of the first one. And then that post into the second one. So they're just overlapped in this area just to make up the difference. So I could add another 3 foot of area if I wanted, but it worked out this way, so that's good. All right, so we followed our directions. We did have some problems. We had the tangle there where the caps came off, and probably a lot of that was my fault. But it went up fairly easily. I think the reason it got tangled, I had to pull off of it a couple of times, change the camera position, do stuff, and that may have been part of it. The other part was the caps coming off the post at the top. There was one off the first one here, but there was 4 off this second half, and that made it a little more difficult. The first half went out without a hitch. I found that one cap off. I replaced it when I got to the point, and everything went smoothly. So now it is time to see what happens with the chickens. Okay, let's go. Release the krakens. I mean chickens. Chickens. All right, let's see what happens here. This is the first time they have been on pasture. And it's going to take a bit. I have not made the fence hot yet, but that will be here in just a moment. I've clipped their wings, so hopefully they can't fly out of here, but I'm going to keep a close eye on them probably today and tomorrow, just to make sure we don't have any problems with that. I'm thinking as long as they're scratching and eating, they really don't have any need to fly. And then in the evening, I'll grab the feed, draw them back into the coop and into the run, and overnight them in there. And in the morning, back out here. And once I get used to it, I can leave them out here in the day and just put them up at night. But there's one already sticking its head through. That can be a problem. So we're going to have to go electrify this fence now. All right. About the time I ended the video and moved the camera, the chicken went out through the fence. It was not small enough to hold them in. Before it was over, I had about 6 escapees, and we had to repair this. Netting. I had some bird netting on a roll that was about 6 foot tall. I did not know it was doubled, so I cut it into 1 foot sections. The 2 pieces on the end ended up being 2 foot tall, and then the 2 pieces in the middle were just 1 foot tall. So I put the 2 foot tall on first, and when I ran out of that, I put the 1 foot netting on, thinking this probably could hold them in. Now, is this going to work? Time will tell. I hope it will. I am hoping I'm not throwing good money after bad. But there's a lot of times that I have made decisions in my life that I couldn't change. So you make those decisions work. You make the bad decision into something good if you can, before you completely scrap it. So you try. So we'll see what happens. Alright, I've got all that netting up, 200 feet of it. I've got a little section that's left over that's not up, but it is 2 foot high instead of just 1 foot high. So I'm hoping that was going to hold. We're going to do a small test here. I've got a bucket full of feed to lure them back into their coop, just in case it doesn't. So let's see what happens. watch the perimeters, make sure there's no chickens getting out so farther in a small area, and kind of keep an eye on them. Still a few in the run. This area here is 2 foot high. I'm not really worried about the one that's all the way up. And remember, count your blessings every day. Even when things don't go exactly as planned, you're still blessed far beyond measure. I know that I am. God bless.